Hello YouTube and welcome back to another RiftGuides WildRift video. For today we have a special gem for you. The top 1 Evelynn on the European leaderboard is blessing us with a replay of the gameplay. So what makes Evelynn so special, why is this champion so broken, and why hasn't her damage been nerfed yet? So without any further ado, let's talk about this, let's talk about the build, let's talk about everything you need to know to become the best Evelynn player. So first off, there are 2 different clears you can go for. There's a double camp clear on the blue and Grom side, which we have a little short on, and there's a typical easy clear, which obviously starts with the red side. Here you can make it a lot easier by efficiently utilizing your spells without any risk of the creeps resetting. With this in mind, you do this, and then you basically farm for your level 5, and then you go for proactive plays, basically. That's kind of the Evelynn gameplay loop. The moment you are then level 5, you do not want to neglect farming totally, but you turn into a force that the enemy has to reckon with. What you're doing there then is, you basically spot where the enemy control wards are and you let them stay alive. You want to give the enemy a false sense of security, and then punish them severely by, well, walking around them. Now there are a few things you need to know when it comes to Evelynn, and there's another Evelynn build which I'll hopefully showcase anytime soon, which features Horizon Focus. This time however we have the standard Evelynn build, which is also featured on the website, so don't worry, we have all covered, and if you're already a Patreon user you can check it out, it's in beta, but for the other users I will talk about it more once it's ready, but now you know about this, and yeah, back to the game, because now we have the jungle clear close to being finished. Jungle clear finishing, level 5 on Evelynn, now your game starts to happen. With level 5 you almost always get a kill, and the reason is pretty simple. You have a charm which is hard CC, and you have an ultimate which has an execute, so you instantly kill people without any problem. Now with level 5 being achieved, and ultimate not being used yet, you're not even forced to go base, especially if you see the enemy on the minimap. Here obviously we have the complete information, but we see on the minimap that the Talon is going for place here, and the Evelynn is on the way down there. So you best believe that there'll be some free kills, flashes forward, gets the free kill on 1, and yeah, the Talon is on the run, tries to execute to the tower, but the Nami is making it very— oh no, the Pike gets the kill as well. If there's one thing that could be a mistake here is that he recalls in vision rather than recalling in a brush, just to give the enemy less information about him. So if you're playing this game, just generally, giving the enemy any type of information is obviously a potential mistake, unless you want to give them that information. Because every bit of information can be used against you, and you should utilize the information in any type of way. Information warfare, basically. And yeah, the Kalista could have known that this is coming, but yeah, you know, people don't like to track jungles. And if you look at the inventory here, we have a Prophet's Pendant, Boots of Mana, and Sudden Impact setup. That is going to be a lot of damage if you ask me. But in all honesty, what makes Evelynn so annoying in general? So it's her never-ending scaling and her one-shot potential. With the item changes, she also has the ability to go, for example, for a Riftmaker if the enemy team is too tanky, and in this instance, you see they have an Alistair and a Dr. Mundo, which means Riftmaker is going to be a big difference maker by adding these 10% bonus true damage on top from the pre-mitigated damage, and you deal a lot of damage. Also, a thing to notice, or a thing to say, is that Evelynn is nice flash by the Pike here, goes deep for a kill, gets a kill reset, but the entire enemy team is here, 3 people. Talon is looking for a potential play, but the Evelynn doesn't have ultimate. With no ultimate available, life is a lot harder, because Evelynn is a very ult-centric champion. But the more items you gain, like up to 2 or 3 items, you start not really caring about your ultimate, it's more or less a tool of safety. Because you will one-shot regardless. So here he waits for another set of cooldowns and the Pipe, because he wants to make sure that this kill is secure, approaches the enemy from behind, and escape, every escape path is being cut off, so the enemy has no chance of escape, picks up a free kill, and chests some extra gold with his teammate. Another thing we could argue here is, I think we could have gone for a potential jungle clear again. Maybe we'll make it in time before Herald spawns, because we obviously lose some time by going base. Maybe we want to go for these components, and then we could have reset for the completed Infinity Orb, compared to just fully clearing now, and then going base. Or at least partially clearing for the item. Because you see, we cleared 2 camps, then recall, and then we buy another item. So technically speaking, you can plan it out even better by simply, going for the partial clear again to then get your item a little bit faster. So maybe he would have been faster by not resetting, so keep that in mind. Talon being spotted on the dragon also gives away plentiful information that this herald is going to be very free. With the herald, he gains even more map advantages with extra gold, and obviously sharing this for the mid lane is the best possible play, because the reason is the mid lane tower is the hardest to get, and you can just get it freely, unless, well, the teammate just died. This will be a free kill pickup unless the Kalista manages to escape, but I don't think that's possible. So yeah, Slow Smite comes in, instant execute, and I think there will be no herald being placed because the pike isn't on the map yet, and we have still roughly 2 minutes left before the plates dissipate. Approaching this play here, looking for a potential counter dive, looking at the control ward being placed here, because they didn't know where the Evelynn would approach from. Just to add some extra security, they placed down this control ward, and the Evelynn was just here to secure the dive. Wasn't really interested in making a proactive play, but the enemy is overstaying their welcome and they get an instant kill. Now the Alistair is overextending as well without any ultimate, and the pike is getting free gold and free money everywhere. The worst play possible would be to place the herald down here because you would share the gold free or like 4 ways, and that would be utterly terrible. You'd rather take down this tower with the power of Tristana and demolish, and then go to the mid lane and share the plates 2 ways. You want the gold on you and your premates as often as possible because you can reliably carry. Sharing the gold with too many members with Herald is very bad because the gold amount is minuscule then and you don't really get an advantage. Kalista looking for a flank here, Pike going for a nice play again with the flash, and they'll get an easy kill pickup on the Kalista. Flash of the wall, Talon on the hunt here will get the passive reset, so the Evelynn will just walk away into the sunset and everything will be fine. Alistair making an engage onto the Pike, but Pike escapes with a third ability, and now they're waltzed back into the mid lane. But you see another play in the jungle happening. Tristana just leapt in, just didn't care, just went in, and now we get some plating money in the mid lane, which most likely will result in a full tower for Mr. Pike before platings fall. A lot more gold into the pockets of the Evelynn, and in this game I think he's going for Rabadon's Death Cap, if I'm not mistaken, over Lichbane. So yeah, another play in the mid lane already happening. Pike being in the middle of everything, they kill the Tristana, but the Pike gets a trade kill and they share so much gold with the help of the Pike's ultimate. And another kill being picked up and another champion being there. Kai'Sa looking like a real snack here. We have ultimate, we have everything available, but their play doesn't have to be forced, and Evelynn can now freely invade into the enemy jungle, steal some camps away, but has to be mindful of the enemy Talon who can speedrun back here once he's alive. But yeah, should be no problem to take away the red buff and the enemy Crocs, and then maybe even look for another play. But rather here sees the Kalista, the Kai'Sa overextend in the mid lane, and there's a hook happening. The Pike picks up a free kill again, and we have 4,200 gold in the bank. A lot of gold, a lot of extended plays on the map, and we pick up a fully completed Lichbane here. No, we refund it and we go, as I thought, for the fully completed Rabadon's Death Cap. I cannot really make out the AP number, but I think it's 388 or something on the Evelynn, so that's gonna be a lot of damage. If there's something Evelynn likes, it's a lot of damage. However, it really depends on how many Spellblade procs you get with Lichbane, because it also adds a lot of extra damage since you're always so close range, and your third ability also applies on hit effects. Good combo on that one, 1350 crit onto the head of Dr. Mundo. 2 execute modifiers with Infinity Orb and Ultimate do be hurtin'. Evelynn are looking for a flank, something you have to always do to make sure to get the maximum amount of potential play power, because the enemy will never really realize where you're coming from or has to always gamble where's the Evelynn coming from. And the most typical approach for an Evelynn is flanking. You have the stealth ability and just have to bypass the walls or think about where there's no wards, and then as you go around to find this flank, you quickly go in for a fast kill. You have Proto Belt, you have your third ability, and you have your ultimate, sometimes even flash. And for late game, you locate one target and you kill it as fast as possible, or try to kill it as fast as possible before it can even react. And many of you have noticed, you can let me know in the comments below, what it feels like to play against a fed Evelynn. It is a nightmare, it is complete pain, and you never want to actually think about this and deal with the same thing again. So every AD carry out there is usually banning Evelynn if he loves his life. But if you're playing AD carry, you must be kind of in a really bad spot nowadays, because, well, League of one-shots. Talon messes up the combo, but sadly we don't get the execute on the Talon. Kai'Sa jumps in with the killer instinct like an absolute mad lad for no reason. Even if she gets the kill, it's simply not worth it. Elsa finds a nice combo though, is in the front line. Evelynn looking for the flank here, looking for the enemy approach, waits for the Kalista to pass by, gets the kill for the Pyke, and the Pyke gets a reset. Sion is ulting in, looking for another angle, just zooming through. The Alistair's being tagged. Kai'Sa's in the jungle and the Talon makes an appearance again. Nice try. Pyke trying to read the Talon jumping in. Preventively proto-belting in. That was a really close one, and now because the Talon is dead, you obviously want to take away enemy jungle camps. It's always about pillaging enemy jungle camps because it's the most important thing to do once you're ahead. You don't want to give the enemy any breathing room and want to take everything away as often as you can to accelerate yourself even more. As you see in the inventory, the Lichbane is getting closer and closer, and with these free items plus boots, you will see that this Evelynn damage is beyond unbalanced. There used to be a rule when mages or AP champions hit free items, it's basically GG. Because they deal so much damage, you always die. Because look, it's like 540 AP or something. And Lichbane has an AP modifier and a base AD modifier. So Evelynn has 105 or something base AD right now. And 540 or 50 AP. So this Lichbane is going to do a hell of a damage. And if the enemy lives for more than one proc, you have to imagine that this item has a 1.5 second cooldown, and Evelynn's Lash is like a first ability, barely has any cooldown. So you can basically just spam it and get a Spellblade proc every 1.5 seconds. That is a massive DPS increase, but the Dr. Mundo just doesn't care. He just walls in, he just picks up the fruit, has to flash over the wall, doesn't want to use his ultimate because it's such a massive tool he has to have, because the damage he deals is so mandatory to just get the kills. Talon is ulting, he's looking for with his first ability to spot the Talon while he is in stealth. Talon has more of the Mortiers picked up, you see it on the health bar of his. And he's scouting, he's looking for him, he's evading. Pyke went to try and go for the ER combo, like the third ability into R ability combo, where he just travels to dimensions to stun people. He didn't get that done, but it was enough to make the Talon turn onto him with the Alistair, and then the Evelynn basically took care of both of them. And with that, they just get the free Nasher. And it's an absolute crazy game for that person. Like, he's going to deal so much damage because he has another full item in base. Picks up Crown to not get one-shot, because for Talon, Crown is one of the most annoying things to deal with, because it mitigates so much damage. Blocking a single spell messes up Talon's passive is number one, and also having 50% damage reduction for a second is also making life a lot harder for the Talon to just one-shot the Evelynn. Because if you give the Evelynn reaction time to respond to your play, she has plenty tools to actually escape with flash, with ult, and maybe even proto-belt. Like, any type of seconds or time you give a person to react can be very detrimental to your plan. The Talon and the Alistair are engaging in the river. There's a control ward here to make sure this engage works out, but the Talon is on the run. Talon dies to the ignite of the Pyke, and the Alistair flashes over the wall. Pyke trying to deal some damage to the Kalista. Kalista now overextending, trying to get the kill onto the Tristana, and even succeeds in doing so. Pyke looking for another play, and this Alistair will also fall to the lashes of the Evelynn. 438 damage while the Sion is running down the side lane. And now the Pyke is continuously going for more plays, trying to accelerate the game over and over again, utilizing his high base stats and high damage to make sure that this Evelynn had an easy time during the early game. Now 14.5 minutes into the game, they pick up this mid lane inhibitor, and this Kai'Sa is overextending again on her lonesome up there. Nami's not tanking the tower even wastes a wave, even though the Kaiser was already more than certainly dead. And now we don't have wave available, which means that this Talon can actually get us killed. But we even steal away the red buff with our ultimate ability, if I'm not mistaken, right? Yeah, we even yoinked it from the hands of the Talon. Now we basically just go back into our own jungle and clear again. And by the way, like, you can go Rise and Focus on Evelynn right now as well to make sure you spot the Talon, because it procs on his second ability. And you can go for Riftmaker. The reason for Riftmaker can be sustain, can be more extra damage, extra tankiness. You can add a lot of reasons for this. And it will definitely help you deal with this chunky frontline. Ulti coming up in 2 seconds, so we can play a lot more aggressive. Pike going, and you see the grey health, it's very high right now. And now, look at the damage! Full items at not even 16 minutes, a 41 to 16, an absolute disaster for the enemy team. And all of this achieved through understanding what the champion wants to do, what it can do, and how to approach fights, while having Pike also helping you during the early game. And if you want to learn more about Evelynn or generally any type of champion, just make sure to maybe comment the champion you want to see next in the comment section below, and come back for the next video. I'll tell you everything you need to know to become a better player and, well, reach your rank in WildRift. And if you want coaching from me, you can also do so. Just let me know, come into the Discord, and we'll get something settled. Anyway, thanks for watching, and if you want to see more, make sure to follow the steps I just gave you earlier, and we'll see each other very soon.